I'd written a couple of things for Free Magazine downtown. I tried my hand at fiction unsuccessfully. But I was a full-time cook. I didn't have any delusions of I'm going to write my way out into a different life. Or, I'd been in the restaurant business long enough to know that there's nothing more foolish than a person who thinks they can make a living writing. Or acting, for that matter. I was in a profession where everybody was a writer or an actor. And, I'd been in the business for over 25 years at that point. I was in my 40s. So I had a pretty minimal expectations when I started to write this article, intending it for a free paper called the New York Press. Comes out in boxes on the corner. Take all you want. They're free. I figured their standards were low enough that I had a good crack at it, and I might make $100, which is exactly what happened. I sent it in. Editor said, "Yeah, we'll run it. It's great. We'll give you $100." I was thrilled. I'd written this article hoping that people in the restaurant business like me in New York City, some of them anyway, would read it and find it entertaining. It would, sort of goose the non-professionals with, scary revelations about, stuff we all knew, like, your unmolested bread is probably going to go out again. And also just, I don't know, I wanted it to be, I wanted my fry cook and a few other cooks in New York to read it and say, this is not bogus, I recognize this, and it's funny. They said they'd take it, and then week after week after week, I kept getting bumped. So in a moment of drunken hubris, I called them up and said, screw you, I'm taking the article back, and I sent it to the New Yorker unsolicited. And I forgot all about it because, who sends stuff to the New Yorker unsolicited. Weeks later, I get a call in the kitchen. It's David Rednick, and it says he's going to print the article. And I was like, wow, that's really great. And it was great. 2 days after it came out, it was a news story. I mean, there were reporters chasing me for comment on these horrible revelations, which is like, really? But it changed my life immediately.
Did it directly leak to the book deal, or how?
2 days later, my agent called up, and my wife, now ex-wife, answered the phone. She thought it was a joke. They're offering you $50,000 to write any book you'd care to write. I was in a pretty, I was 44. I'd given up any dream of ever being out of debt, current with my taxes, insured, current with my rent, current with the credit card companies. If I was sure of anything, it was that I would never see Vietnam, much less Rome. So it was a nice bit of business.